Sometimes you might have heard this analogy that Sikhi, or the journey of a Sikh, is like a drop of water trying to return back to the ocean. Have you ever heard that analogy? Like the drop of water is far away from the ocean, and the drop of water has got lost, and it's trying to find its way back. And in the same way, we have also got lost, and we're also trying to find our way back to merge with the oneness. This analogy is actually incorrect. Because the drop of water, if that represents us, then Gurbani says that the drop of water has never left the ocean. You are in the ocean. You have never been separate from the ocean. You are in the ocean. You just don't know you're in the ocean. Let's see if Gurbani talks like this. Guru Nanak Dev Ji has a shabad on Ang number 878. And Guruji says, Sagar meh boond, boond meh sagar, kavan bujhe bid jane. Within the ocean are the drops. The ocean has all the drops, and all the drops have the ocean inside them. Within you is the entire ocean of the oneness, and you are in the ocean of the oneness. So how can we say that the drop of water is separate from the ocean? How can it be? Guruji is not using that analogy. Guruji is saying that the ocean has the drop, and the drop has the ocean inside it. Guru Nanak Dev Ji explains this. In fact, all the Gurus explain this, all the Bhagats explain this. We are like the drop of water that's in the ocean. That means we are in God and God is in us. Bhagat Naam Dev Ji goes even further. Bhagat Ji says on Ang 485, Ek anek byapak purak jat dekhon tat soi. The oneness looks like many different things. It is one thing, but it has many different forms. In Jap Sahib, we also see the same thing. Ek hai, anek hai, fir ek hai. It is looking like many, but is really just one. Bhagat Naam Dev Ji also says the same thing. Ek anek byapak purak. In the one and in the many, that same one being is in all of them. Jat dekhon tat soi. Wherever I look, I can see it. These are the words of the people who have understood this. They've practiced it. They've given up their thinking. They've lived it. They've been blessed with this new wisdom that they can look at the world and they say, I can see you, God. I can see the one God in all the different forms. Jal tarang ar fen bud buddha jalate pin nahi hoi. The waves of the water, if you go to the beach, you see the ocean, you see the waves crashing. Bhagavad uses that analogy, the waves crashing, the white bubbles, and the water itself are not different from each other. They're all the same thing. That means that you and me are all part of the ocean. And our life is like a wave. How long does a wave last? Just a couple of seconds. Do you ever look at the wave and say, that wave is different to the ocean? No. We say they are the waves of the ocean. So why do we say that we are different from God? We are of God. The wave comes up, and imagine the wave says, where's the ocean? We're born and we say, where's God? The wave doesn't understand that it is the ocean. The human doesn't understand that it is God. So many times again and again, Gurbani confirms this idea. And beautifully you can see that this same analogy of the waves, the water, the drops continues from the Bhagats, from the Gurus. Even in Guru Gobind Singh Ji's Bani, the same analogy appears. In Akal Ustat, we also see exactly the same analogy. जैसे एक नद ते तरंग कोट उपजत है, पान के तरंग सबे पान ही कहाएंगे. Like a river, nad, nadi. Like a river has kot tarang, many waves. The waves of water are still called water. We don't call the waves something different. So how many gurus and how many pagats does it take until we actually bring that wisdom into our mind? And this is just an explanation today on the ik. We haven't even gone on to Omkar yet, let alone how to do Satnam, let alone Karta Purkh. How can we skip past such an important subject when the whole of Gurmat begins with ik? And we don't sit and we don't discuss, what is this ik? What are we bowing down to? What are we praying to? So we have to understand that you and me are part of this ik. That the God that we're praying to is right here, there and everywhere.